The city skyline glowed under the amber haze of dusk, casting long shadows over the cozy apartment where Mia sat cross-legged on her worn-out couch, her phone pressed to her ear. Her laughter echoed through the room, a melody of confidence and mischief, as she spoke to her friend Lily. "I'm telling you, Lily, Ethan is unreal. He's like the gold standard. He listens, he cares, he gets me. Honestly, my male best friend treats me better than any boyfriend ever could. Especially better than Jake ever will." Her voice dripped with smug satisfaction, the kind that comes from knowing you've got something others don't. Mia leaned back, twirling a strand of her chestnut hair, her hazel eyes sparkling with the thrill of her own words. She wasn't just talking to Lily, she was performing, relishing the chance to brag about Ethan, her best friend since high school, who seemed to have a sixth sense for making her feel like the center of the universe. At Mia's apartment was a cluttered masterpiece of her personality, vintage posters of indie bands plastered on the walls, a shelf overflowing with half-read novels, and a coffee table littered with empty wine glasses from last night's impromptu girls' night. It was her sanctuary, a place where she could be unapologetically herself. And right now, she was basking in the glow of her own narrative. Ethan, with his easy smile and knack for showing up exactly when she needed him, was her trump card. Jake, her boyfriend of 2 years, was, well, Jake. Dependable, sure, but predictable to a fault. He was the guy who forgot her birthday last year and thought sorry was enough to fix it. Ethan, on the other hand, had shown up with a homemade cake and a playlist of her favorite songs, just because he knew she'd had a rough week. Comparing the two was like comparing a candle to a wildfire. Lily's voice crackled through the phone, teasing but curious. "Okay, Mia, but you have to stop rubbing it in. Ethan sounds like a freaking unicorn. Does Jake even know you're out here singing Ethan's praises like this?" Mia smirked, glancing at a framed photo on her coffee table. A candid shot of her and Ethan at a music festival, arms slung around each other, laughing like the world was theirs. "Jake? He doesn't need to know. Besides, he's too busy playing video games to care what I say to my friends. Ethan's just different. He's always there, you know? Like last week I was stressing about work, and Ethan dropped everything to take me to this little diner we used to go to in high school. He even remembered how I like my coffee, 2 sugars, no cream. Jake doesn't even notice when I'm upset half the time." Lily laughed, but there was a hint of caution in her tone. "Mia, you're playing with fire. You keep talking like this, and people are gonna start thinking there's something going on with you and Ethan." Mia rolled her eyes, dismissing the warning with a wave of her hand, even though Lily couldn't see it. "Oh please. Ethan's my best friend. There's nothing romantic about it. He's just better. That's all." But as she said it, a tiny flicker of something, guilt, maybe, or curiosity, stirred in her chest. She pushed it down, focusing instead on the thrill of her own words. Bragging about Ethan wasn't just fun, it was validating. It made her feel like she had something special, something her friends envied. The truth was, Mia loved the attention. She loved the way her friends' eyes widened when she told stories about Ethan's thoughtfulness, like the time he drove 2 hours to pick her up when her car broke down, or how he always seemed to know when she needed a pep talk. It wasn't just that Ethan was kind, it was that he made her feel seen. Jake, for all his good qualities, had a way of making her feel like background noise. He was sweet enough, but their relationship had settled into a comfortable routine, like an old sweater that still fit but didn't spark joy anymore. Ethan, though? Ethan was the spark. The next day, Mia met her friends Lily, Sarah, and Emma for brunch at their favorite spot, a trendy cafe with exposed brick walls and overpriced avocado toast. The conversation, as it often did, turned to relationships. Sarah was complaining about her on-again, off-again fling, while Emma gushed about her new girlfriend. Mia, sipping her mimosa, waited for her moment. When it came, she didn't hold back. "You guys, I'm telling you, Ethan is the standard. Like yesterday, he sent me a playlist he made just for me because he knew I was stressed about my presentation at work. Jake? He didn't even ask how it went." Her friends exchanged glances and Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Mia, you talk about Ethan like he's your boyfriend. Are you sure there's nothing going on?" Mia laughed, but it was a little too loud, a little too forced. "No way. Ethan's just Ethan. He's my person, you know? My best friend." The brunch continued, but Mia couldn't shake the feeling that her friends were watching her a little too closely. Their questions lingered in the air, subtle but pointed. "Does Jake know how close you and Ethan are?" Emma asked, her tone neutral but her eyes sharp. Mia shrugged, brushing it off. "Jake's fine with it. He's known Ethan forever. It's not a big deal." But deep down, she knew that wasn't entirely true. Jake had never said anything outright, but there were moments, little glances, tense silences, when she could tell he wasn't thrilled about her friendship with Ethan. She ignored those moments, though. After all, Ethan was just her friend. Nothing more did. As the weeks passed, Mia's bragging became a habit. Every girls' night, every coffee date, every group chat was an opportunity to sing Ethan's praises. He planned this whole day trip for us to go hiking last weekend, she told her friends one evening, her voice brimming with pride. He even packed my favorite snacks. Jake would never think of that. The more she talked, the more her friends' reactions shifted from amusement to concern. Lily, always the blunt one, finally called her out. Mia, you need to chill. You're making it sound like you're in love with Ethan. And if you're not, you're gonna make Jake think you are. Mia scoffed, but the words hit harder than she expected. Was she crossing a line? No, she told herself. Ethan was just her best friend. That's all. But then came the night that changed everything. It was a Friday and Mia had had a fight with Jake. It wasn't anything major, just another argument about how he wasn't paying attention, how he didn't seem to care about her the way he used to. She stormed out of their shared apartment, her heart pounding, and called the one person she knew would understand, Ethan. He answered on the first ring, his voice calm and steady. Mia, what's wrong? Where are you? She told him everything, her words tumbling out in a rush as she sat on a park bench, the city buzzing around her. Ethan didn't hesitate. Stay there. I'm coming to get you. 20 minutes later, Ethan pulled up in his beat-up sedan, his dark hair messy from running out the door, his blue eyes soft with concern. He didn't say much, just handed her a bottle of water and let her vent. They ended up at their old diner, the one with the flickering neon sign and the jukebox that only played songs from the 80s. Over greasy fries and milkshakes, Mia poured her heart out. I don't know what's wrong with me, Ethan. Jake's a good guy, but I feel like I'm always chasing something with him. Like I'm begging for scraps of attention. With you it's just easy. Ethan's smile was small, almost sad. You deserve more than scraps, Mia. You always have. That night, as they sat in the diner, something shifted. Maybe it was the way Ethan looked at her, like she was the only person in the room. Maybe it was the way his hand brushed hers when he passed her the ketchup, sending a jolt through her that she couldn't explain. Or maybe it was the realization that she'd been comparing Jake to Ethan for months, and Ethan always came out on top. When they finally left the diner, the air between them felt charged, heavy with unspoken words. Ethan drove her back to her apartment, and as she got out of the car, he grabbed her hand. Mia, he said, his voice low. You know I'm always here for you, right? No matter what. She nodded, her throat tight, and watched him drive away, her heart racing with a feeling she wasn't ready to name. Back in her apartment, Mia couldn't sleep. She kept replaying Ethan's words, his touch, the way he made her feel like she mattered. And then there was Jake, asleep in their bed, oblivious to the storm brewing in her mind. She pulled out her phone and opened her group chat with Lily, Sarah, and Emma. Guys, she typed, her fingers trembling. I think I'm in trouble. I don't know what's happening, but Ethan, he's not just my best friend anymore. Not to me. She hit send before she could overthink it, and the responses flooded in almost immediately. Lily. Oh, Mia, what did you do? Sarah. I knew it. Emma. You need to talk to Jake. Like now. Mia stared at the messages, her stomach twisting. What had she done? And what was she about to do?